Here is Immortal Moments for explanation. Friends, like videos and subscribes to our channel. Swallowed Star 2 Land of Origin Part 18 Explanation. So let's start our explanation. At the city owner's mansion, 5 incarnations of divine power had assembled and seated themselves. To capture 8 formation masters alive at the same time, the forces of Sha Kingdom must have dispatched a group of top eternal true gods, said Mo Li Xiao. According to the 5 surviving formation masters, the Sha Kingdom's forces are investigating all information pertaining to the Huyang City formation map. The formation masters are only responsible for repairing very small areas. They know little about the complete formation map, stated the Lord of Huyang City. Such a large commotion cannot be just for that bit of information. Wu Kulu, a figure clad in blood-colored scale armor, spoke indifferently. The formation masters know little about the complete formation map, but they are well aware of the general layout of Huyang City's formation map. Everyone present agreed. Like Zhong Qianyang and other formation masters, who could repair small areas of the formation, their mastery of formations was profound, from a point to extrapolating the whole face. They would have a general guess about the layout of the entire Huyang City formation map. They must have plans for the grand formation of Huyang City, declared the leader of the Meiwu clan solemnly. Shuiyun is very restrained. It's been a long time since they made such a big move, said Mo Li Xiao. I think we can report to the Marquis and request support. Agreed. The Sha Kingdom's forces capturing the formation masters is just the beginning. Once they really show their fangs, we might not be able to hold them off. Let's report to the Marquis. Everyone agreed. They were too late to even cover up the incident of Meiwu Qi slaughtering hundreds of millions of civilians within Huyang City, so naturally, they did not dare to ask for help. Yet, in dealing with the forces of Sha Kingdom, their request for help was completely justified. Asterisk. Luo Feng, who did not fully understand the subtle strife between the city owner's mansion and the forces of Sha Kingdom, temporarily resided in the Heavenly Flame sect. This was also a public declaration. Zhong Qianyang, I've got your back. 2 days had passed in a blink of an eye. Luo Feng was walking around inside the Heavenly Flame sect, watching the disciples refine secret treasure weapons. Supreme Moyu Liuxing, the third of the Moyu family, who was instructing juniors, spotted Luo Feng and promptly greeted him with respect. He also had a talent for artifact refining, and with sufficient resources, had already advanced to a true god of void space. Among the 3 Moyu brothers, both the eldest and the third were true gods of void space. Only Moyu Qingyang, who followed Luo Feng, was still a true god. Moyu Liuxing, Luo Feng smiled at him. I hear you've gotten married? Yes, she is a senior sister I met after joining the Heavenly Flame sect, said Moyu Liuxing, his face revealing a hint of happiness as he spoke of his wife. It seems the Heavenly Flame sect suits you well, Luo Feng chuckled. In the land of origin, countless creatures rarely marry in their lifetimes, as they live infinitely long and have no need to reproduce. Finding a beloved one and getting married is quite rare in the land of origin. Some extremely powerful beings, with extraordinary bloodlines, reproduce offspring primarily to pass on these bloodlines. The Heavenly Flame sect is indeed a good fit for me, and our master gives us careful guidance, Moyu Liuxing remarked. Suddenly, Zhong Qianyang hurriedly approached from afar, reaching Luo Feng in just 2 steps. Brother Luo He, Zhong Qianyang said urgently. Luo Feng waved to Moyu Liuxing, who then respectfully withdrew. What's the matter? Luo Feng asked. Among the 8 formation masters who were captured earlier, 3 have been killed, Zhong Qianyang said. Their families might face some troubles after their deaths, so I'm also keeping an eye on their situations. Zhong Qianyang, who liked making friends, counted all 3 as his close friends since they all belonged to the same circle. Of these 3 families, 2 were silently devoured by Cloud Treasure Tower, which has branches in many major cities of Yu Kingdom, mainly selling mid to low-end secret treasure weapons, continued Zhong Qianyang. Branches like the one I founded, Heavenly Flame sect, and other artifact refiners' shops are just small time. Cloud Treasure Tower, those are the major trading powers. Luo Feng listened. Selling secret treasure weapons to eternal true gods, how many could one sell in an era? Selling to true gods and true gods of void space, that's where the real profit lies. Given the incredibly large numbers, it accumulates into staggering wealth. Normally, Cloud Treasure Tower wouldn't stoop to plundering local families, but this time they did. Shang Qianyang fumed. It must have been some eternal true gods at Cloud Treasure Tower's Huyang City branch who coveted the assets and swallowed up those two families. In front of Cloud Treasure Tower, these two families couldn't resist at all. In silence, all their long-accumulated resources, materials, and shops were snatched away, Shang Qianyang said angrily. That would have been manageable, but Cloud Treasure Tower is too strong. They didn't go on a killing spree. The two families, although completely ruined, at least kept their lives, with not many relatives killed over the disputes. But it's grim for the Chifeng family. They were targeted by the Dark Forces, the Six Lords Alliance. Core members of the Chifeng family perished in great numbers, the vast majority of their resources were forcibly looted, and two children of the eternal true gods were taken to the headquarters of the Six Lords Alliance by the Thousand-Eye Lord, explained Shang Qianyang. It's likely to force those two to hand over the inheritances. Brother Luo He, Lord Chifeng is my good friend. Half of his family members have died, and I want to save his two children. Shang Qianyang looked at Luo Feng. The Six Lords Alliance won't consider my feelings, so I'm asking you, Brother Luo He, to help. Luo Feng frowned upon hearing this. The city owner's mansion just watched all this happen. Those three formation masters were initially brought in to repair the city's formation, which led to their dire fates. The majority of eternal true gods in Huyang City had served the city owner's mansion, and when did the city owner's mansion ever care about the lives and deaths of those eternal true gods? Shang Qianyang shook his head. Unless you completely surrender and become a vassal, the city owner's mansion won't intervene. Leave this matter to me. Luo Feng nodded and soared towards the distance, glancing at Morosa, who was happily eating and drinking. With one look, Morosa understood. Master. Morosa immediately flew over. We're going out for a bit. Luo Feng, piloting the flying boat, took Morosa and headed straight for the headquarters of the Six Lords Alliance. There were 18 dark forces in Huyang City, of which the Six Lords Alliance was one. The headquarters of the Six Lords Alliance was perennially gloomy, with a faint mist swirling around, and many internal members were busy with their respective tasks. Inside one of the halls of the headquarters, the siblings from the Chifeng family sat there, fearfully watching the woman in the red robe in front of them. Your father is dead, and carrying treasures is not a good thing for you, it's a bad thing. The woman in the red robe sat there, softly laughing. Previously I instructed your clan to willingly transfer the family resources, and they were actually reluctant. The result of their reluctance is that most of your clan is now deceased. Now it's your turn. The woman in the red robe looked at the siblings. Lord Chifeng had only you two children. He must have arranged a way out for you, probably left some resources for you in the Flame Wind Pavilion. Do as I say, immediately contact the Flame Wind Pavilion, transfer all the resources to me. Then you can live. Otherwise, you also have to die, and if you die, everything becomes void. The woman in the red robe looked at the two fat sheep. As one of the leaders of the Dark Forces, she was continually hunting for fat sheep. After the death of Lord Chifeng, his two children naturally became big fat sheep. Like after Jiarong death, his daughter, Jiarong Qi, was also considered a fat sheep, but she had been staying in the Moli clan's cave mansion, so she avoided trouble. It's fortunate I acted quickly. Otherwise, if I was a bit slower, others from the Dark Forces might have snatched them. The woman in the red robe, the Thousand-Eye Lord, thought to herself. At this moment, Luo Feng had already arrived at the headquarters of the Six Lords Alliance with Morosa, piloting the flying boat. Whoosh! After storing the flying boat, Luo Feng and Morosa appeared at the main entrance of the Six Lords Alliance headquarters. Master? Shall we storm in? Morosa was eager to move. Yet Luo Feng had already taken a step forward. Boom tilde tilde tilde. Without permission, trespassing into the Six Lords Alliance headquarters naturally triggered the headquarters formation's retaliation. The Samba formations might erupted and pressed down on Luo Feng, intent on tearing him apart. What's happening? Many members of the Six Lords Alliance headquarters, including the eternal true gods present, were somewhat surprised. Luo Feng, with Morosa stepping into the headquarters, naturally formed an invisible force around his body that could crush the formation's power. As they entered the headquarters, Luo Feng instantly locked onto the Thousand-Eye Lord and also spotted the siblings from the Chifeng family next to the woman in the red robe, Thousand-Eye Lord. Zhong Qianyang had naturally provided Luo Feng with information about this pair of siblings beforehand. Lord Luo He, the Lord Bai Wu of the Six Lords Alliance, called out from a distance. Boom! Luo Feng took a step and, along with Morosa, thundered through numerous obstacles, breaking through building walls, and directly arrived inside the hall, appearing in front of the Thousand-Eye Lord. The Thousand-Eye Lord was shocked to see Luo Feng and the broken building stones around her, and even managed to smile as she greeted, Thousand-Eye has seen Lord Luo He. Lord Luo He. The other two eternal true gods inside the headquarters, Lord Bai Wu and Captive Wind Lord, quickly flew over, very polite and humble, not daring to offend in the slightest. Luo Feng looked at the woman in the red robe. Thousand-Eye Lord, is it you who acted against the Chifeng family? The woman in the red robe instantly made a guess and spoke hastily. I was protecting the two children of Lord Chifeng. It wasn't me who killed those members of the Chifeng family. It was her who killed them. In the corner of the hall, one of the siblings, the elder brother, despite being terrified, still gritted his teeth and shouted out those words. The woman in the red robe looked at the siblings in shock and anger. Lord Luo He, the woman in the red robe was about to defend herself when she saw that Lord Luo He in front of her had already reached out. She didn't hesitate further, instantly manifested her true body in an attempt to save her life. A huge twisted entity appeared, its surface dotted with eerie eyes. Indeed, she had over 1,000 eyes, capable of damaging an enemy's soul. Spurt tilde tilde tilde. What seemed like an ordinary stretch of Luo Feng's hand pierced through that massive entity, crushing a true god's heart. Only the twisted manifestation of the true god's body fell apart, and with a wave of his hand, Luo Feng collected the corpse. Seeing this scene, both Lord Bai Wu and Captive Wind Lord were somewhat stunned. Although the Thousand-Eye Lord wasn't as powerful as the Blood Python Association leader, she was still an extremely formidable eternal true god, but she had no chance to resist in front of Lord Luo He. Do the numerous deaths within the Chifeng family have anything to do with you too? Luo Feng looked at them. Lord Bai Wu and Captive Wind Lord hastily shook their heads. They knew a wrong answer might mean their own deaths. The members of the headquarters of the Six Lords Alliance could vaguely see the figures of Luo Feng, Lord Bai Wu, and Captive Wind Lord through the damaged building, with each of the ordinary members trembling at heart and daring not come closer. Both Lord Bai Wu and Captive Wind Lord were in utter panic, fearing they would end up the same as Thousand-Eye Lord. It has nothing to do with us, Lord Bai Wu said urgently. That was Thousand-Eye Lord's prey, she would never allow us to intervene, Captive Wind Lord added, and we even advised her, after all, it was the family of an eternal true god, it shouldn't look too ugly. She just wouldn't listen. Lord Bai Wu also said, most of the eternal true gods within Huyang City know each other, we also need to restrain ourselves a bit in our actions. But Thousand-Eye Lord was just mad, acting recklessly and wantonly. Luo Feng slightly frowned. Lord Bai Wu and Captive Wind Lord immediately fell silent. The intelligence I understand also said it was Thousand-Eye Lord's doings. So you might escape this disaster, Luo Feng said coldly. Lord Bai Wu and Captive Wind Lord let out a silent sigh of relief. Only when facing Lord Luo He could they feel the suffocating pressure. They did not doubt that if they disagreed, Lord Luo He would crush them to death. I killed Thousand-Eye Lord who took direct action. Regarding you five, well, I'll just fine you 300,000 cosmic sand. Spare your lives, Luo Feng said indifferently. 300,000 cosmic sand. Lord Bai Wu and Captive Wind Lord looked at each other, and they immediately contacted the other three companions via the transmission token. They feared Lord Luo He. But 300,000 cosmic sand was indeed a significant fortune. Splitting it, each of the five of them had to produce 60,000 cosmic sand. They also needed to consume a large amount of resources for cultivation and to purchase inheritances, secret treasure weapons. Most of them couldn't afford so much. Lord Luo He, we have already contacted the other three companions, Lord Bai Wu said ingratiatingly. But we ourselves consume a lot of resources and can't produce much cosmic sand. If you can't produce it, you can go die, Luo Feng said as he looked at them, having no sympathy for the eternal true gods of the dark forces. No, no. Captive Wind Lord explained, we can gather some cosmic sand by selling secret treasure weapons. In these past 20-some years, we have never offended a divine monarch. We took no part in the Chifeng family affair, we are quite wronged. Can your divinity perhaps pity us, reducing some of the punishment? 300,000 cosmic sand is a great pressure on us. You dark forces have started reasoning now. Luo Feng looked at them with a smile that wasn't a smile. Aren't you always hunting? Indiscriminately selecting numerous preys within your own territories and wantonly killing them, did those preys provoke you? Lord Bai Wu and Captive Wind Lord were silent. As beings who plunder the masses for their own benefit, none of you who are killed are innocent. It's just that the land of origin is everywhere, a small eternal true god like me can't manage it all. But when you offend me, I can kill or punish you. Do you have an objection now? Luo Feng looked at them. Since you're bargaining, the price of your lives has now changed. It's become 500,000 cosmic sand. The 5 eternal true gods from your 6 lords alliance bring out 500,000 cosmic sand, and you can live. If not, go die, Luo Feng said leisurely. I'll give you 1 day to get ready. 500,000 cosmic sand. Lord Bai Wu and Captive Wind Lord trembled. Any more objections? Luo Feng looked at them. No objections, no objections. Lord Bai Wu and Captive Wind Lord immediately shook their heads, no longer daring to reason. Oh, and please relay a message to the 3 eternal true gods of the Cloud Treasure Pavilion, Luo Feng instructed. Just say they've swallowed the resources of 2 great families, but seeing as they haven't indulged in massacres, their fine will be the same as your 6 lords alliance, also 500,000 cosmic sand. Give them 1 day to prepare. The fine for Cloud Treasure Pavilion is also 500,000 cosmic sand. Lord Bai Wu and Captive Wind Lord somehow felt much better. It seems they weren't the only unlucky ones from the 6 Lords Alliance. We will certainly deliver the message, both Lord Bai Wu responded in unison. You only have 1 day. After Luo Feng spoke, he gathered the siblings of the Chifeng family who had been trembling and hiding in the corner and left with Morosa. Sigh? Within a few steps, they had already left the headquarters of the 6 Lords Alliance and then boarded the flying boat and shot through the sky. Lord Bai Wu and Captive Wind Lord watched the scene in silence. Even the city owner's mansion bowed down before Lord Luo He in the end. We have no way to resist, Captive Wind Lord sighed deeply. Thousand Eye Lord is such a fool. I had always said not to prey on the forces of the eternal true gods, trouble with no end. She wouldn't listen. Her death aside, it has caused each of us to owe 100,000 cosmic sand. Lord Luan is also a fool. He made us talk with Lord Luo He, and that talk only increased the price, from 300,000 cosmic sand to 500,000 cosmic sand, Captive Wind Lord said, gritting his teeth in frustration. Since Lord Luo He asked us to deliver the message, we might as well pass it on to the Cloud Treasure Pavilion. Lord Bai Wu immediately took out the transmission token and began to relay the message. The Cloud Treasure Pavilion in Huyang City is garrisoned by 3 eternal true gods. With the backing of the Primal Chaos Overlord, even just a branch office in Huyang City was given respect by all parties and was not easily provoked by anyone. Even the forces of Sha Kingdom would not lightly clash with a major powers branch. What? The Pavilion Master and both Deputy Masters of the Cloud Treasure Pavilion were somewhat dazed upon receiving the message. This Lord Luo He has quite the nerve. Demanding us to pay 500,000 cosmic sand. Our Cloud Treasure Pavilion was founded by Heavenly Treasure Marquis. He actually dares to bully our Cloud Treasure Pavilion like this. All 3 of them were respected figures in Huyang City, who didn't give them some face. Although their branch was not as highly positioned as the Flame Wind Pavilion branch, they still frequently interacted with the 5 great families. What should we do? The Pavilion Master asked, surrounded by swirling black mist and a huge, angry eye. Lord Luo He is excessive, but we cannot report this matter to the Marquis. Firstly, because it's a matter of us reaping private benefits secretly, the Marquis would severely punish us if he knew. Secondly, the Cloud Treasure Pavilion has business across most cities in the U Kingdom, and with countless city affairs adding up, the Marquis really wouldn't bother with such trivial matters, he explained. Because the Marquis couldn't be bothered and only cared about the final accounts, they dared to reap benefits under the Cloud Treasure Pavilion name. If they were ordinary eternal true gods who swallowed the assets of two families of formation masters, there would be significant backlash. Even a person like Thousand Eye Lord had to rely on killing to coerce the transfer of resources. But with the name of the Cloud Treasure Pavilion, they could intimidate all parties and quietly clean up their affairs. Over the long years, they had become very efficient at these kind of operations. Relying on the income issued by the Cloud Treasure Pavilion was really too meager. This kind of private benefit was where they made their real earnings. 500,000 cosmic sand is just too much, the pavilion master said. I'll go visit Lord Wei. If Lord Wei is willing to help, he should be able to resolve this matter. The two deputy masters nodded. Yes, Lord Wei. If Lord Wei is willing to help, this is but a trivial matter. 500,000 cosmic sand, for them, meant having to sell the armor and weapons they wore, practically squandering half of their lives, so naturally, they sought to stall. The Heavenly Treasure Marquis wouldn't bother with such trifles, and they dared not speak up, so they had to come up with a solution themselves. After much contemplation, the five great families dared not provoke Lord Luohe and could only hope for Lord Wei's assistance. I will go now. The Cloud Treasure Pavilion master could not afford any delay and immediately visited Lord Wei. Soon after, the Cloud Treasure Pavilion master returned. How did it go? Both deputy masters felt uneasy, suspecting that if there had been good news, he might have informed them in advance. The huge single eye of the Cloud Treasure Pavilion master showed frustration. Lord Wei refused, even reprimanded us, and demanded that we obediently hand over 500,000 cosmic sand. She believes that if we don't comply, Lord Luohe might take action. Would Luohe dare to kill us? One deputy master panicked. He dares to kill the five great families, what do you think? Alas, the Marquis won't intervene in these disputes among eternal true gods. The Cloud Treasure Pavilion master shook his head, just endure that Luohe. His arrogance will bring about his downfall. Killing the five great families, threatening us, such arrogance will backfire eventually. The two deputy masters felt a pang of pain for the cosmic sand. The three of us should each take out a portion of the 500,000 cosmic sand, said the Cloud Treasure Pavilion master. When reaping the benefits previously, you took half, and we too shared the remaining half. It should be the same this time. You provide 250,000 cosmic sand, and we two together contribute 250,000. The two deputies, much poorer than the master, stood united. I can't produce 250,000 cosmic sand right now. You can sell treasures or borrow. Is Luohe truly asking the Six Lords Alliance for a whole 500,000 cosmic sand? The Six Lords Alliance too struggled to gather 500,000 cosmic sand. That day, Luo Feng's forceful intrusion into the headquarters of the Six Lords Alliance didn't go unnoticed, naturally fermenting within Huyang City. The leaders of the Six Lords Alliance and the Cloud Treasure Pavilion were seeking to sell treasures to raise the necessary cosmic sands, and the news gradually spread. Killing the Thousand Eye Lord and demanding each of the Six Lords Alliance and Cloud Treasure Pavilion to pay 500,000 cosmic sand. This news caused various forces within Huyang City to take note, and after quiet decades, Luohe's brash temperament remained unchanged. Lord Luohe, Lord Bai Wu and the Cloud Treasure Pavilion master jointly visited Luo Feng at the Heavenly Flame Sect. Luo Feng's temporary residence at the Heavenly Flame Sect was no secret to the eternal true gods of Huyang City. Within a day, they arrived. Luo Feng stood up, with Shang Qianyang and Morosa beside him watching. We acted rashly and angered your Divine Highness. We beg for your forgiveness. Lord Bai Wu respectfully offered a jade vial. Here is 500,000 cosmic sand, all gathered. Please quell your anger, Divine One. The Cloud Treasure Pavilion master, not daring to show any arrogance, similarly offered a jade vial. Here is 500,000 cosmic sand, and we have also properly settled those two families. Shang Qianyang watched the scene, reflecting inwardly. Shang Qinyan's disciples and those siblings from the Chifeng family rescued were all watching from a distance. The respectful visit of two major powers within Huyang City, handing over 500,000 cosmic sand, dared to show no resentment. The sight was profoundly impactful for the disciples and the Chifeng siblings. "All right, you can leave now." Luo Feng took the two jade vials. A sweep of divine power assured him that not a single grain of cosmic sand was missing. Lord Bai Wu and the Cloud Treasure Pavilion Master bowed and quickly took their leave. Once they had left, the distant onlookers among the disciples began buzzing with talk. "Did you see the might of Lord Luo He?" A woman beside Moyu Liuxing exclaimed. "Liuxing, I heard you had a chance to follow Lord Luo He before. Did you give up on that opportunity?" "I chose not to risk it." Moyu Liuxing smiled at his wife. "Though I gave it up, it was my elder brother who ended up following him, and I also met you, senior sister, here at the Heavenly Flame sect." The woman smiled gently, expressing regret, "But indeed, you missed a great opportunity." She felt a bit sorry for her husband. The path of cultivation, she knew well how important a great opportunity could be. Shang Qianyang and Luo Feng walked together within the Heavenly Flame sect. 1 day's time, 1 million cosmic sand, and they willingly complied. "This has certainly been an eye-opener," Shang Qianyang exclaimed. "The three eternal true gods who had died, their families will likely face hard times ahead." Luo Feng mentioned, "I know you will look after them, but since I gained wealth because of them, I must show some generosity." Luo Feng handed a jade vial to Shang Qianyang. "Not much here, just 30,000 cosmic sand. You can use it to care for those three families." 30,000 cosmic sand is quite a lot. Ordinary eternal true gods would not have as much even if they sold all their treasures, Shang Qianyang said. "It's just for settling the families, no need for too much. You see to the arrangements." Luo Feng placed the jade vial in Shang Qianyang's hands. Shang Qianyang no longer refused. Luo Feng looked toward the distant night sky. "Next I plan to enter seclusion for a while. You should be careful yourself." The wealth was sufficient for the third time of body refinement. Shang Qianyang laughed, "Because you killed the Thousand-Eye Lord and forced the Six Lords Alliance and Cloud Treasure Tower to obediently offer compensation, who else would dare to target me?" Luo Feng smiled. When Shi Kingdom's forces were capturing several formation masters, they specifically let Shang Qianyang go, which in itself was a statement. "This Shi Kingdom's forces keep trying to befriend me," Luo Feng thought to himself. "Chairman Zonyun also visited me several times, and this time they let go of Shang Qianyang, clearly placing great importance on me. But in the end, I am bound to stand against Shi Kingdom. In the feud between my master and Shi Kingdom, I would definitely stand by my master, the mountain-sitting guest. Then I'll be leaving first. Contact me if there's anything you need," Luo Feng said. "If I'm in seclusion and you have an urgent matter, you can contact Luo Sa." "All right." Shang Qianyang nodded. Soon, Luo Feng, accompanied by Morosa, quietly left the Heavenly Flame sect and headed for the Flame Wind Pavilion. Phew. Inside a small building in the Flame Wind Pavilion, the master of the Flame Wind Pavilion personally received Luo Feng. "Brother Luo, he has really stirred up a storm today, forcing the Six Lords Alliance and Cloud Treasure Tower to compensate with a whopping million cosmic sand," said the master of the Flame Wind Pavilion, his voice cheerful. "Probably every power within Huyang City is discussing this matter." "It's a trivial matter," Luo Feng said. "I'm here today to reserve a batch of artifact refiner materials." "Reserve?" The master of the Flame Wind Pavilion and the figure in the grey mist, the deputy pavilion master, were somewhat surprised. The Flame Wind Pavilion's inventory was extensive, and they could also transfer goods from other businesses within the city, so reservations were generally unnecessary, as materials could be brought over in just a few words. Luo Feng nodded and sent a detailed order using the Dark Hall's transmission order. "According to our Flame Wind Pavilion's pricing, such an order would require 3.65 million cosmic sand," the deputy pavilion master said with surprise. "These artifact refiner materials are rarely precious, most are common materials, but the sheer quantity indeed exceeds what the entire Huyang City can mobilize from its stores." The inventory of Huyang City's many businesses was indeed vast. But Luo Feng only needed a minority of the material types, yet it still amounted to 3.65 million cosmic sand. How long will it take? Luo Feng asked. Our Flame Wind Pavilion delivers every 10 days, the Deputy Pavilion Master explained with a smile. The next delivery is in 2 days. It will directly be teleported in spacetime to our pavilion. The Master of the Flame Wind Pavilion also said, Brother Luo He, your order is special, the volume is too large and not suited for local supplies. Spacetime delivery is the most convenient. Alright, here are the 3.65 million cosmic sand. Luo Feng took out a jade vial he had prepared in advance, thankful he had obtained the funds from the Six Lords Alliance and Cloud Treasure Tower, or else he wouldn't have been able to afford it. The Deputy Pavilion Master took it and said, I will personally deliver the materials to Brother Luo his cave dwelling in 2 days. Thank you, Deputy Pavilion Master, Luo Feng nodded. An order of a few million cosmic sand was nothing significant to the headquarters of the Flame Wind Pavilion, not to mention dealings that reached over 100 million or even 10 billion cosmic sand. To them it was all small business. As the mountain-sitting guest was a godly king skilled in artifact refining, naturally, he had some transactions with the Flame Wind Pavilion, dealings on the godly king level, much larger than what Luo Feng had just placed. Therefore, Luo Feng was very straightforward with the reservation payment. After paying, Luo Feng took his leave. An eternal true god, purchasing such a large quantity of artifact refiner materials, the Deputy Pavilion Master wondered aloud, despite being well experienced, I can't understand what Lord Luo he really wants to do. The Master of the Flame Wind Pavilion also puzzled, all these materials piled up would be several times bigger than my unlimitable godly bodies, could it be that he wants to refine a super large mechanical stream secret treasure? He and Shang Qianyang are close, maybe he's also a master of artifact refining, potentially focusing on the path of artifact refining to ascend to the primal chaos overlord, the Deputy Pavilion Master speculated. Does he need to refine a large number of secret treasures to accumulate a foundation? Artifact refining, alchemy, formation, illusion technique, each different path could lead to becoming a primal chaos overlord. Luo Feng's orders for materials were vast and exceeded by far what any normal body refinement would require, naturally leading to much speculation from the Master and Deputy Master of the Flame Wind Pavilion. Marquis Liu Yin of Shikingdom sent Yu Qianshu and Yu Qianyi to Huyang City, the Master of the Flame Wind Pavilion stated. Now in Huyang City, Shikingdom has 3 strong powers gathered, Shui Yun, Yu Qianshu, and Yu Qianyi. Them being together, they surely won't sit idly, there must be a major plan in motion. Capturing 8 formation masters was just the beginning, the conflicts will only intensify from here, said the Deputy Pavilion Master, but it's clear, Shikingdom's forces are reluctant to provoke Lord Luo River. I hope the struggle between Yu Kingdom and Shikingdom in Huyang City doesn't destroy it, the Master of the Flame Wind Pavilion sighed. A fight between 2 powerful nations could cause countless casualties with just a ripple of their conflict. The river of time flows ceaselessly forward, the Deputy Pavilion Master remarked, every moment countless creatures are born, and countless die. When you step out of the river and stand peacefully on the bank, you see everything. Uncle, stop trying to talk like the elders of our clan, the Master of the Flame Wind Pavilion said with a laugh, you're just an eternal true god. The Deputy Pavilion Master made a face and moved aside, continuing to review the pavilion's business. 2 days later, the Deputy Pavilion Master personally visited and delivered the material worth 3.65 million cosmic sand. Thank you for your efforts, Deputy Pavilion Master, Luo Feng sent him off. Lucky there's such a supersized commercial house as the Flame Wind Pavilion. If we had to rely on those smaller businesses, gathering 3.65 million cosmic sands worth of various materials would probably be 1,000 times more troublesome, Luo Feng thought to himself. The matter of the Flame Wind Pavilion was a piece of cake, but even a small business association would likely struggle with it for an entire era. Merely the space-time transport of goods allowed direct delivery of goods from the Flame Wind ancient country to the Huyang branch. This space-time transport was locked to each branch. Only 2 ancient countries in the land of origin had the capability to perform this task. At that moment, Morosa was teaching Mo Yu Qingyang to comprehend the laws when Luo Feng approached. Master, both Morosa and Mo Yu Qingyang greeted respectfully. I am preparing for a closed-door meditation for some time, Luo Feng said. Closed-door meditation? Morosa and Mo Yu Qingyang felt a burst of joy secretly. as it meant they would be free while Luo Feng was in seclusion. During my meditation, I will cut off all communications and not allow any disturbances. If there really is something extremely urgent, Luo-sa, then you may notify me, Luo Feng instructed. Yes, Master, Morosa replied. He was Luo Feng's spiritual servant, able to communicate through telepathy. Having said that, Luo Feng entered the underground hall alone, released the Star Tower, entered the tower's space, and began his third session of body refinement. As time passed, the situation within Huyang City became increasingly turbulent, with conflicts erupting continuously. The various forces in Huyang City realized that this time the conflict between the city owner's mansion and Shi Kingdom's forces was different from the past. One day, Moli Meng personally came outside the main entrance of Luo Feng's cave dwelling. Deputy City Lord Moli, as I've said before, the master is in closed-door meditation and is not seeing anyone, Morosa, who had just woken up, said. Now that Moyu Qingyang had gone home, he had to answer the door himself. I have something urgent. Is it possible to contact your master? Moli Meng asked continuously. How urgent? Morosa asked, is Shong Qianyang about to die? Is Huyang City going to be destroyed? It's the city owner's mansion that wants to meet Lord Luo He and seek his help, Moli Meng said. Morosa shook his head repeatedly. The master has instructed not to disturb him unless it's a matter of utmost urgency. A request for help from the city owner's mansion? Such a trivial matter, he dared not disturb his master. Moli Meng looked at Morosa. Morosa looked innocently at Moli Meng. Well, Moli Meng had no other options. As in the case of seclusion, only this servant could contact Lord Luo He. Not even the other servant, Moyu Qingyang, could make contact. Just make sure to contact me as soon as your master emerges from seclusion, Moli Meng said. You can rest assured on that point. I will immediately inform my master of this matter once he is out of seclusion, Morosa promised. Moli Meng could only leave helplessly. No matter how tumultuous the outside world was, Luo Feng focused solely on body refinement. The primal chaos great strength diagram's highest level of the eternal true God tier third body refinement utilized many mysteries of laws, posing an extremely high demand on the cultivator's realms. It was not only body refinement but also a form of cultivation. Luo Feng also prepared tens of thousands of cosmic sand materials as practice. Once fully prepared, Luo Feng officially began his third body refinement. Luo Feng's godly body was akin to a super-large weapon secret treasure. The immense power of this super-large secret treasure was primarily due to its massive size, and its intricacy was quite ordinary actually. Now, Luo Feng was like drawing on a needle, further perfecting the entire super-big weapon secret treasure. Where originally one formation diagram was present, Luo Feng might need to supplement several formation diagrams to make it operate more perfectly. The process was all clear, but it still required step-by-step patient refinement. Body refinement was extremely tedious. Mainly because Luo Feng's perfect divine body was so large, the work involved was exponentially more complicated. Luo Feng continued for over 30,000 days before it was successfully completed. A day in the land of origin spans about the duration of one Earth year. On Earth, it would equate to over 30,000 years of continuous body refinement. That was with Luo Feng's strong will and high efficiency, otherwise, it would have taken much longer, showcasing the grand scale of body refinement. It's done. Luo Feng looked at his own godly body. After 3 rounds of body refinement, in terms of intricacy, it now rivaled some ordinary eternal true God secret treasures. But this was a weapon secret treasure that stood 18 billion kilometers tall. With just a clench of his fist, a terrifying aftershock rippled through this space. Even without igniting divine power, I could easily tear apart a Huyang legion with my bare hands, Luo Feng reflected inwardly. Reaching this step has truly unearthed the potential of the perfect divine body at the eternal true God tier. As for more powerful body refinement, that would be at the primal chaos realm tier. This was something that eternal true gods couldn't possibly achieve. They might occasionally realize 1 or 2 powerful moves, but primal chaos tier body refinement required extremely high realm specifics. Even mastering the primal chaos laws and receiving inheritance necessitated careful contemplation to learn. How strong would my godly body be once I use Duan Mir and ignite divine power? Luo Feng wasn't quite sure himself. Having been on the land of origin for over 20 eras, Duan Mir had also progressed significantly. Looking at the entire land of origin, at the eternal true God tier, there are likely few who can rival me, Luo Feng thought. There might be some with a higher realm than his, but his advantage in terms of the godly body was indisputable. This episode is end here.